Ranch, and all 42 of these riders are ready to do battle here in the Masters Plus 50.
All right, it looks like we are ready to go. The mechanics behind them have cleared the way, and any second now that 2 card will go up. It'll turn and it'll go sideways, and we'll be racing again here in Masters 50 Plus. There it is, click into gear, feather that clutch out, and the gate is down. Masters 50 Plus off and running. Let's see who's going to get that Stasek hole shot. Coming through that first corner, it looks like it is the one of Mike Brown. He's got Jeff Emig on the 47 right with him there in those first 2 corners. So Emig started with him this time. Let's see what we got.
I was just about to say, 2 of the big dogs here in this class running 1 and 2 coming out of turn number 1. But it is the big number 1 out front early, and I think he just opened up a couple bike links in that one, the short shoot right there. Brownie trying to pick right up. Jeff Emig, he rocked the black gear earlier, decided to switch it over to the white side now, rocking the all white there in second.
Yeah, Brownie already opened up a little bit of a gap as the rest of the field funnels through the commandments on the first lap. It is Jeff Emig there in that 2 spot, and I believe it is the 28 of Barry Carson now in third. That shiny Suzuki that Carson always shines here at the ranch. Looks like he got off to a pretty good start. Looks like the 26 just had a moment there after the commandments. Gary Benton almost tipped over, but he's back up going about mid-pack. As coming out of Storyland, Mike Brown pulling that gap out on Emig in a hurry. Looks like we're already out over a few seconds there from Jeff Emig. Mike Brown really pulling away here.
We talk about the riding style. You even said earlier, Kellen, you know, this is the old school style of moto. Brownie looks like he's one of the young guns out there. Even the style, obviously doing a lot of training with the modern pros here as we see him launch up and over the Rocky Mountain. But Brownie's still running that young gun style out here.
I got to disagree with you, Zach. I'm going to disagree with you. You can put that guy in flame wrap clothes, and I'm going to know who he is anywhere in the country, dude. He rides like Mike Brown. He looked like Mike Brown. Now, does he ride with that youthful aggression? Does he ride with that youthful vigor? You bet. Absolutely. But you're not going to see a lot of completely standing up all the way around the corners from Mike Brown and things like that. What you're going to see is the less energy method of most 50-plus riders. But like you said, comes out obviously aggressive, gets an early lead, puts himself in good position. And to your point, exactly what you meant was he rides like he's 20. For sure.
I wish I rode like that when I was 20.
We're still that young and we don't ride like that.
I was about to say.
But yeah, Brownie's starting to open it up a little bit. 5-second gap after the first lap. It is Barry Carson there in third. Michael Gage on the Yamaha in fourth, with Gregory Paymark on that Kawasaki rounding out our top 5 early on as Brownie leads them into the commandments here on lap 2.
Heck yeah, good to see Frenchie in that number 5 right there on the number 44 machine. Coming off some serious injuries last winter. Didn't get to ride the Minios and some other things. Ended up in the hospital for a bit. So Frenchie concentrating on the MKS Moto Kicks, concentrating on his shoe brand. I've been helping him out with that just a little bit if I can. And you guys need to check him out online, mksmotokicks.com. But anyways, Frenchie out here, 3-time defending champ of the Loretta Lynn's Kennel Club Championship as well, dog show. So 3-time defending champ is Greg and his puppies. And I got to tell you, the dogs listen way better than Greg, by far.
Taking a look at the backside of the top 10, it's Frank Koenig on the number 43 machine in the 6th place spot. Alan Alford holding down 7th. Gabriel Guardado in the number 8th spot. Rob Manning holds down 9th, and Milt Reimer rounds out your top 10. How about this, Kellen? We got 2 Suzukis inside the top 10 here in the plus 50.
Yeah, well, the old dogs are showing the kids the new tricks with that old machinery out here and making it look like it belongs in this class. No problem there for the Suzuki.
We have half the RM Army in this class right now. Hey, but all laughing aside, between Alan Alford, again, I'm not sure if you guys know who Alan is or not, between Alford and Matt Costin now coming out of Jersey there, they quit paying them in contingency. They just give them shares in the company now. Carson, he's like 51% majority owner in Suzuki right now.
Well, he's taking so much contingency from them. Of course, they're going to have to give him a little bit of something holding on to that 3 spot there. We have a bit of a battle brewing coming out of the back here and into the middle of the racetrack. Had Frank Koenig and Alan Alford kind of going at it here on the 44 and the 63. Guardado right behind them, also trying to get into the mix. It is still Mike Brown pulling away out front, 10-second lead for him. But, I mean, throughout the field here, we've got some good battles.
Yeah, absolutely, and we say it all the time. It's not just inside the top 10. It's all the way battling for 35th even. But to your point there, it looked like Koenig was able to break free of Alan Alford, now putting the pressure on Michael Gage for that 5th spot. And Alford, a little bit of problems coming across the finish line there. I think he dropped one more spot as well.
down by the mechanics area. That group of riders come. It is, like you said, Michael Gage just now there with Gabriel Guardado, Gregory Paymart on the 44 machine, getting away from them a little bit. So that front four has kind of established a pretty reasonable gap ahead of this little group right here. 10 seconds each between kind of our front four, and then it gets down to the nitty-gritty behind that. Like we said, we got that close battle with Gage and Guardado on your screen right now, and Koenig just behind them, hoping to get back in the mix.
The racing Reverend Kevin Kazad works his way inside the top 15. I believe he was somewhere around 18th or 20th on that opening lap. So Kevin pulling duty all over the company, the MXers for Jesus Minister. And if you guys haven't attended one of his evening services, you guys need to do that. Absolutely. You'll enjoy yourself. It's a great time. It's not a full-on church service. He's going to pick a message, going to deliver a quick message. You guys are going to chat a little bit. And it's a good time for sure. Definitely. So props to Kevin out there, top 15, and getting it done every week.
Taking a look a little deeper in the field there. Don Bisceglia not getting the start he was hoping for on the 96, currently showing in 27th place. So we'll see whether or not Bisceglia is able to work his way up inside that top 20 as well. Michael Keating now moving into the 17th spot. We have chaos here in the tower as we have a look out of our vast number of windows, see all the action on track, but on screen you are seeing riders making their way through the sand section, getting ready to head up and over the Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, that's still that battle between Gage and Guardado. Guardado's kept it close here for a few laps, trying to get into the top 5 and get around Michael Gage. They're starting to lose Frank Koenig a little bit, and instead Koenig's going to start dealing with Brian Carroll and Alan Alford behind him here before long.
Gage looks like he's not even trying. I mean, he's sitting down a good bit, using really good throttle control, letting the bike, take the hits and stuff. Gage really comfortable right now.
And as we take a look, I think glance out the window, and yeah, Alan Alford starting to come to life as this race wears on. He's moving towards the front as well. But he's got a big group of guys in front of him that are going to be tough to beat.
Alan Alford will not fade back. Hey. I will get one thing he'll do is pass dudes on the way forward. What Alan Alford will not do is fade.
Well, Alan Alford also doesn't let you affect his race. He's going to run his pace. If you're a little faster to start, don't worry, he'll see you before the race is all over.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Well, the 26 of Gary Benton, who was down early in this after the commandments, now has made his way into 8th. He just got around Alford and then Brian Carroll Jr. as well to get up into that 8th spot. I believe he also just got around Frank Koenig after the finish line jump. So he is now all the way up to 7th. On the move right now, running some pretty good lap times on the 26.
Yeah, I was just about to say, his last lap time, a couple of seconds faster than the riders in front of him. So we'll see whether Benton's going to start picking him off here on this next lap. As on screen you see riders making their way through the 10 commandments, and that inside roller is really starting to get chewed up. Square edge bumps on the face.
Yeah, that's a game changer, Kellen, no question. When you talk about that inside line right there, are you going to have to go outside, maybe try to triple in as a vet guy? Are you going to be able to get in maybe double? But that rut right now, that's going to be the deciding factor when you get to it.
100%, and you're also starting to see that even within the commandments, they're starting to get more and more notchy as you get through them. So depending on if you end up on the inside or the outside, you may have a better run through the commandments all the way to the end of the section.
Listen, you may just have to go full Dax Bennick and go from one side to the other through the commandments.
We talk about it out here. They use every square inch of the track, whether it's the 50 class or the plus 50 class. They're using every side. Like Kellen even said earlier, they're searching for a smooth line.
Absolutely. And a lot of times that's the very edges. You're going to find the fringe, is what we like to call it. You're going to find that smooth line. You're going to get away from some of that chatter, some of those braking bumps out on the fringe. But Kellen, we talk about adapting each and every lap. That berm may not be there next time around, or that rut all of a sudden has a hook after 40 other guys went through it. That type of thing. So you have to make quick decisions, smart decisions. And again, the guy who minimizes those mistakes and can adapt, he's going to do well this week.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you who's making smart decisions right now. It's Gary Benton on that Yamaha. He has just gotten around Gabriel Guardado on our screen here. So he goes from the 7th spot around Koenig up into 6th. And it looks like he's trying to go after maybe Michael Cage in the 5 spot just ahead of him as they cross the line here again.
And I just took a look out the window as the number 47 of Jeff Emig came through the commandments. Don't get me wrong, Jeff has got a little bit of a gap opening up to about 20 seconds now, but he is looking strong right now. Emig really feeling the fro flow out here, if you will, here in this first moto of Masters Plus 50. Oh.
Great observation by Malcolm Stewart right there. You know, we're watching the monitor, guys. We call the race for the folks at home. And outside the monitor, Malcolm said, hey, man, I think Brownie blew that front wheel out. Right now, he's like walking with a sore foot. He's trying to keep that front wheel off the ground right now. Oh, look at him. Yep, absolutely.
And maybe what we talk about.
No question, man.
Jumping off of
trying to manual the thing through some sections, trying to keep that front end light. And great observation by our spotter, Malcolm Stewart. Now, yeah, that gives a fighting chance to Emig right now, to be quite honest with you. No doubt about that, for sure.
Yeah, we're about to
jump in there, Malcolm.
What do we got, Malcolm? What's going on with Brownie?
Mike Brown, but like I said, to see that, he was skyrocketing this thing before the sand rollers over here, and I think he landed a little bit too far, and I kind of messed up the front wheel. But I mean, on the screen, it's kind of hard to tell, but watching it in person, you're seeing it's definitely moving pretty heavily.
The circle starts to become an oval as it's.
I mean, look, just look at this. I mean, Mike Brown was 10 seconds a lap slower with Jeff than Jeff Emig. So definitely, it's coming.
So from the rider's perspective, what is it that you try to do when you feel the front tire go away? Is it get on the back of the bike as much as you can? What are you doing?
I mean, coming around, you see him, Brownie, he's definitely being really, really light on the front, and which is the smartest thing to do. I mean, he's definitely, I'm sure he's probably been in a situation like this before, but it's definitely really, really hard. But I know for sure he's definitely paying attention to number 47 back there.
And this is about to be dangerous because Fro, I think, just got a glimpse of the number 1 there. He was coming into the Ten Commandments as Brownie was exiting. He wasn't able to see him a lap ago. And so Brownie going to start, or Fro going to start to smell blood in the water here as we get towards the end of this race.
And I just saw Brownie take a peek to the right as Fro was coming through the Commandments. He knows he's coming. He's got his eyes in the back of his head now, realizing the 47 machine is closing up behind him.
Oh, you know when your competition's coming, buddy. I don't care. You can be a minute in front, but you know exactly what a tenth of a second feels like because they know. And like I said, we're seeing Brownie come around. Fro is definitely coming.
Jeff Emig, easy spot with those gold rims there in second place. And he is coming to the front. Once again, there's Brownie taking a look over his shoulder, trying to land on the back wheel, taking all of the impact on that rear tire. Doing everything you can just to crutch this thing home.
Timing was critical, Zach, because here's the deal. We're running low. Mike maybe limp this thing home, still on the podium, maybe second, third position. So he's still alive, man. Had this thing happened on lap 2, Malcolm, it'd have been game over.
Yeah, no, for sure. But, I mean, Fro's definitely on the same straightaway now. I mean, Mike Brown is over here manual like on a bicycle, and I think that's so sick. To be honestly, I mean, to manage this race the way he's doing it right now with a broken, you know, definitely something going on with the front wheel, but it's sick just to see him do that, man. It's that's actually awesome to see.
Two-lap
Fro's on him, though. It's over with. He's going to have to take a number 2 spot for this one because here he comes.
Two-lap board just came out.
Yeah, this is big picture here stuff, and we all know Brownie's able to do that. He's managed championships before. He's going to manage this. He's going into damage control mode. Fro's not around him yet, but definitely not running at the full fight right now. But how about that manual? I took a note out of Axel Hodges' book, landing over that jump on the back wheel.
Now, Jeff Emig just made that pass down the inside after the mechanics area. So, Fro, your new leader here on the 47. Brownie is still just trying to nurse this KTM home. That front tire wobbling a little bit, but he can just following. Yeah, might dive down the inside to get the pass done again.
The wheel's done, it doesn't matter now.
So we see Jeff Emig now taking that different line, going around the outside, coming into the Ten Commandments, and Brownie, he's now having to duck it down to singling all the way through there, trying to manual out. He is definitely starting to get concerned about that front wheel.
The benefit that he has is he still has 32 seconds right now on Barry Karsten, so he's just doing everything he can to go as slow as he can and make sure this tire doesn't explode on him so he can at least finish this moto.
Absolutely, and I'm seeing a bunch of riders out there. I mean, Brownie's been here, done that, and you know, at a high caliber as he's done, you know, he's been professional, he's won races, he knows exactly as a racer. You know, anything that happens with a front wheel like that, and for him to go out there and still continue to keep racing, that just goes to show you the heart. He's in it for the long run, and that's one thing I love about Brownie. He's here to win a championship. He ain't gonna let it go like that. Like, even though Jeff Rowe's out there, you know, he's definitely making it walk right now. But I can tell you what, for Moto 2, he's gonna let it. He's gonna definitely get back where he's at.
I'm going to guarantee you, Malcolm, 90% of these guys take that wheel to the pits. Okay, 90% of these guys in the Masters 50 Plus, they roll that baby back there, they pop a new one on, and okay, we take the DNF. Not Mike Brown. That's not his DNA, bro.
No, definitely not.
Kellen, Malcolm, I'm going to leave it with you. I'm going to get ready to go down to the podium. Who knows what's going to happen here on this last lap?
Well, here comes Jeff Emig into that final turn. and he is going to come down and take the white flag right now. So it is still Mike Brown in second. He did a 2:17 last time by. Barry Carson was at a 2:13. So I'm not too sure if Carson's going to be able to bring that gap down on this final lap. But for Emig, this is a little bit of a victory lap because he's got a big advantage now over Brownie. And Brownie's not going to be able to close that gap down, of course. So Emig is just keeping an eye on what his mechanic says, what the gap is, and try to bring this thing home safe and sound out front.
Yeah, Emig, great job recognizing the situation. Mike Brown, again, we can't say enough about how smart he is and what the racecraft is. We watched this guy manual the thing 3/4 way around the track. Barry Carson bringing this thing home, probably safe to say going to be in that third position, but our buddy Greg Paymart on the number 44 Kawasaki able to hang in there right now inside the top 5, right in that 4th spot, and Gary Benton going to round out the top 5.
So last time by, Mike Brown ran a 2:23. Barry Carson just checked in at a 2:14. So unless things go horribly wrong on this last lap, I think Brownie's going to be able to hang on for this 2 spot.
Yeah, and how cool is that, Kellen? You bust your front wheel and you still got a big enough gap that, okay, I only slid back to second.
Yeah, I'm trying to peek out the window and see if we see him go by. I haven't seen the one flash in front of me just yet, so.
Oh, that's not good, because I thought that was Carson there.
Yeah, oh, so there's Brownie right there. It's right here.
Oh,
here
right there's
Carson.
the race.
So Carson's trying to close this gap down on the very last lap and maybe make something happen.
Oh, goodness.
Tiptoeing into the back, though, as Emig brings us down through the sand section on the final lap of the race.
Yeah, like Zach said, Frogon with the all-white gear here earlier today had the all-black on, reminiscent of the shift days. Mind games out there. Ken Worthy's 102 degrees in Ohio. Flat ground, Supercross during an outdoor national. And Emig shows up in black gear head to toe and lays it to him.
Just cruising through the sand on the last lap around the Polysport Pond is Jeff Emig. Into the final corner he is going to go, and he's going to put the 47 machine on top here. Masters 50+ Moto 1 going to Jeff Emig. He doesn't even know. He's confused what happened. He's still looking back at what happened to Mike Brown. But Jeff Emig has taken the victory, doing a little shimmy and a shake right there, and excited about it. Just keeping an eye out for Brownie coming through. He's getting through the sand corner here before the finish line jump, and Barry Carson is coming down here behind him, not too far back, but it looks like Brownie will be able to hang on for this 2 spot. So there is Mike Brown over the line in 2nd place, and Barry Carson working through the sand on the last lap. Looks like he's going to hold on to 3rd.
I got to tell you, Kellen, that was exciting. What we thought was
together, your first moto winner here in Masters 50+, Jeff Emig getting the job done. And Jeff, what a race it was. First of all, did you know when you came across the line? Had you figured out what had happened?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see Mike from about the 3rd turn until he had that problem, and I seen him. He was gonzy, man. And so that was the first time that I really felt like I could ride the track and ride some laps and felt all right. But, you know, Mike's got this place down. I don't know what happened. What happened to Mike?
Hey, it looks like he might have overjumped. The jump front wheel started coming apart, but he was able to hang on to 2nd. So you guys have got the battle ready for race 2.
Yeah, like they say, you'd rather be lucky than good any day, right?
Absolutely. Hey, regardless, you got the job done. You get the gold medal either way. Who do you want to thank for getting the job done here at Loretta's?
Well, I finally got a decent start right there on this 302 stroke. Jamie Ellis from Twisted Development and I have been working on the ECU settings on this 300. You know, this bike's a new EFI bike, and you know, it still needs some development work, and so I'm really thankful that you know, Twisted Development and Jamie, what they do, they're you know, we've been putting in the work trying to make it as good as it can be, and then of course Pirelli tires at that scoop on the back just hooks up.
Jeff Emig getting the job done here in Moto number 1 Masters 50+, doing it 2-stroke style as well. A huge congratulations there for the number 47